Are you getting into a relationship, but your gut tells you something's off? Is she being super secretive when you ask questions about her past? Or is she casually spitting out other men's names in a normal conversation? If you are looking for a trustworthy relationship, you might be falling into a trap. But let's save you from that today. If you want to know if she had multiple sexual partners, just look out for some signs. These 10 signs will give you direct hints about how she has led her past life. Remember, it's not about being judgmental. It's about finding the right partner who will not play with your feelings and will commit to a long-term relationship. So stay with us until the end of the video and learn if a woman is worth getting into a relationship with, or if you should just cut ties as soon as possible. Number 1. Extremely comfortable with physical intimacy. Did your first intimate time with her turn out to be worrisome instead of an awesome one? Did it turn out to be unexpected? I mean, you expected it to be amazing, but was it way too amazing? Was she too comfortable and bold with physical intimacy? It could be a sign that she's been there, done that many times before. If you are confused, let me explain. Instead of you being the person to make the first move, she initiates like a pro. An experienced woman doesn't shy away from cuddling and kissing. Instead, she is even open to more advanced or even weird moves and takes everything you throw at her. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. As a guy, you can tell if it's her first time or if she's taken part in the Kama Sutra Olympics many times already. So if your guts tell you that she is too experienced in physical intimacy, then it could be a sign you should not ignore. But at the same time, you shouldn't jump to conclusions so early. Some people can be naturally more expressive and talented in bed, so you must look out for the other signs as well to ensure that she is the right partner for you. Number 2. Avoids emotional closeness. There are times when a man, no matter how strong, feels emotionally vulnerable. Those are the times when he looks to his partner to fill the gap. A spiritual connection and emotional support are some of the most important factors of a relationship because they help the couple endure a hard time together. Sometimes it's not even a tough time. It could be a guy seeking an emotional connection to feel good. But what if your partner doesn't answer your call? What if she is physically there but emotionally absent? A woman who has had multiple sexual partners before usually shows such behavior and avoids emotional closeness. But can you tell if she is really avoiding the emotional connection? Let's say you're trying to build a deep conversation with her, but she seems to take the conversations light and breezy or quickly change the subject. When you try to talk your way into her heart, she instantly turns the conversation into a more casual one. It's almost like she doesn't want to go there. This can leave you feeling a little empty and wondering if they're just not that into you, or if there's something else going on. If you can directly feel it, maybe it is time to stop trying. But once again, it could also be a sign that the person is more reserved or has been emotionally hurt before. Maybe you should give it a little bit more time before making a decision. Number 3. Vague or inconsistent history. One major sign that she may have had multiple sexual partners in the past is the inconsistencies in her history. Let's say months have gone by and you still can't say with confidence that she has shared her past clearly with you. And the things she shared are either too cloudy or inconsistent, which means she tells you one story one day and a different story the other day depending on the day. These inconsistencies could be mentioning names of more than one guy, or she may mention a long-term ex in one conversation, then later say they've never had a serious relationship. Or she describes a specific hobby they shared with a past partner, but that hobby clashes with their current interests. It's important to remember that not everyone enjoys reliving old relationships. Some people might prefer to focus on the present with you. However, if their vagueness or inconsistencies are making you feel insecure or suspicious, it's worth a gentle exploration. So, what should you do in this situation? Have a serious conversation with her about this topic and ask her to clarify her past if she is really interested in a relationship. When you do this, her reaction will be more filling than her words. If she opens herself honestly and fills in the gaps with warmth and clarity, that's a great sign. But if she continues to come up with inconsistent history, then it could hint that you should part ways with her before she plays with you. Remember, you should never rush to these kinds of decisions. Relationships require a combination of time and open communication. So give it enough time and watch if her history seems to get more vague over time, or if she begins to share her past more clearly after building confidence in you. Number 4. Frequent last-minute schedule changes. Does it happen to you that she cancels plans at the very last moment, and does it happen more frequently with you? These fluctuations in her plans can be more frustrating than the fluctuations in the stock market. But did it ever cross your mind why it keeps happening? I mean, it is understandable if the plans had to be canceled for obvious reasons once or twice, but if it is happening over and over again, then something is definitely off. What's also worth noticing is that she always provides vague reasons for these cancellations. She may tell you that a surprise meeting came up, but surprise meetings don't come every other day. Or she may say a friend came into town, but she's very careful about not revealing the identity of that friend. Then, my friend, you should not let her play with you like this anymore. Clearly, she is prioritizing something above your relationship with her, and this is a sign that cannot be ignored. It's important to remember that everyone has a busy life, and things can pop up unexpectedly. Maybe they have a demanding job with unpredictable hours, or a close friend going through a tough time who needs their support. However, if these last-minute cancellations are becoming a regular occurrence, and you're feeling left out or unimportant, it's worth a conversation. Again, communication is the key here. Just approach her calmly and ask her why she had to repetitively cancel plans. Let her know that this is unacceptable to you, and sort things out with her. Number 5. Compares you to past partners frequently. A woman who gets into a relationship for the first time never compares you with anyone because you are all she ever knew. In the same way, if she had had multiple partners in the past, she would have ended up comparing you with her exes whether she wanted to or not. Comparing someone with some other person can happen involuntarily and is a clear sign that she may have been with many men in the past. How can you tell if she compares you with her past boyfriends? Maybe she ends up saying that the beef steak you cooked at home is better than the one she used to enjoy with her ex. Or maybe how an ex used to love a certain activity you never suggested. At other times, when you fight with her, she may end up comparing your flaws with her ex-boyfriend. These comparisons, however subtle, can leave you feeling insecure and wondering if you measure up. But most importantly, it can make you unsure of her past life and how many relationships she had in the past. So before you start to question your own capabilities, just breathe and tell yourself that the fault is not in you. A person who spends time with multiple partners will end up comparing them, and for that reason, you should let her know that you are not the person she can mess with. If she regularly compares you with other men, just leave her and let her know that you are not just another regular man. Because if you watch this channel, then there's a big chance that you aren't. Number 6. Highly secretive about phone use. Does your partner's phone suddenly become their most prized possession whenever you're around? Maybe they scramble to turn it face down, quickly switch screens, or become super private about taking calls in your presence. This phone secrecy can be suspicious and leave you wondering if they're hiding something. The reasons for keeping her phone away from you are obvious. It could be possible that she still is in contact with some of her previous boyfriends, or maybe she just wants to make sure you do not get access to her chat history or images from her past. When you ask her to let you see her phone, she becomes dramatic that you don't trust her. This can leave you hanging in a tough spot where you can't ask her about her phone anymore. However, before you jump to a conclusion, know that there could always be a different story or a logical explanation for this. It's important to remember that everyone deserves a little privacy, and some people might just be very protective of their personal space. Maybe they have work conversations they don't want to discuss or value their alone time for scrolling. But again, if the relationship is strong enough, there always comes a time when the couple doesn't have to hide their phones from each other. So give it a little bit of time to see if she changes with time. If not, then you are fully obligated to break up with her after confirming her phone activities. Number 7. Focuses on physical appearance. Like she can be very secretive about her phone, she can also be very conscious of both yours and her own appearance. Maybe she spends a significant amount of time getting ready, constantly checks her reflection, or frequently compliments other people's looks. While taking pride in appearance is healthy, it could also be a sign that she may have been with other attractive men in the past. Now, you may think, how is focus on physical appearance in any way relevant to the fact that she may have had multiple sexual partners in the past, right? Well, focusing too much on her own, yours, or other people's appearance could indicate that she is the kind of person who is more interested in what's outside rather than what's inside. I mean, what she might seek is physical attraction, not an emotional connection. In extreme cases, she might even compare your physical appearance with her ex or any other random person she sees on the phone. So instead of talking with you about things that require emotional depth, if she is spending her time comparing you with others, then you have the right to ask, why? And even after a serious discussion about this topic, if she doesn't stop with these superficial conversations, then let her know that it makes you feel insecure and it needs to stop. Otherwise, it would be better to part ways before it's too late to make a decision. Just remember that some people are naturally more image conscious. So, even if she acts like this but her history is crystal clear to you, it just means that that's part of her personality and she needs to be embraced the way she is. Number 8. Disinterest in discussing sexual health. Talking about sex is weird, but is an extremely important topic, especially sexual health that needs to be discussed by every couple. It allows you to ensure you're both on the same page about safe sex practices and can create a space for open communication about your sexual desires and needs. But what if she's never interested in talking about sexual health? It could mean she is hiding something up her sleeves. That may leave you wondering, what could be the reason for her to avoid the topic of sexual health? Is she just too shy to talk about this topic? Well, if she is an experienced woman, then shying away is probably not her thing. There could be several reasons that her disinterest in discussing sexual health could be related to her past. Having multiple partners means that she might also be prone to getting sexually transmitted infections, and the fact that she can also transfer it to you makes her want to stay silent on this topic. Another factor is that she doesn't want to get judged based on her previous sex history or the birth control methods she may be using. But sexual health needs to be discussed at any cost for the sake of the health of both of you. Plus, it will give you stronger hints on whether she had multiple partners before or not. So move to a direct approach and make it clear that these things must be discussed or the relationship cannot go on. If she gets afraid and starts answering your questions, it could be a good sign. But if she gets more defensive and starts giving vague answers, then she is simply exposing herself more, making it easier for you to make the hard decision of leaving her. Number 9. Discomfort introducing you to friends. Meeting your partner's friends is a big step. It's a chance to connect with the people who are important to them and for them to introduce you to their social circle. But what if your partner seems hesitant or avoids introducing you to their friends altogether? Maybe she keeps making excuses about why you can't meet their crew or change the subject whenever you bring it up. This is a very direct sign that she may be hiding something important in her life from you. When a woman is genuinely in a relationship with you, she would want to introduce you to the whole world. Only when there is a risk of something bigger is when she tries to avoid introducing her friends to you. Maybe she's afraid that her friends who are aware of her past can leak information about her sexual history, or the chances are she had been in a relationship with one of these friends before and didn't want to bring it up in front of you. So even when you ask her about her friends, she would change the topic, or jokingly dismiss it. This can leave you confused, or even make you feel stupid that she doesn't even consider you worthy enough to talk about her friends. So no matter what the reason for hiding her friends is, you cannot let this one slide. Maybe reaching some of her friends directly may give you a better understanding of who she is. Or just talk with her in a way as if this conversation will decide if this relationship can go on or needs to be stopped right there. Number 10. Shifting priorities that exclude you. And let's move to the last and most important sign that will confirm if she has been with multiple sexual partners. As we all know, when we get into a relationship, our partner becomes the most important person in the world to us. She becomes the priority over every important thing. This is just how human psychology works. So if she's making you feel left out or has priorities that don't include you, and you keep getting bumped to the bottom of the list, then this simply means she still has other people who are taking her attention. While it may sometimes appear that there are genuine reasons for her priorities, it cannot always be that way. Maybe she suddenly starts spending all of her free time with new friends, neglecting plans you made together, or prioritizing hobbies that leave you feeling left out. So it means you can tell if these priorities are real or if you are just not a priority to her. So what do you need to do at this point? Well, at this point, if you have observed many other signs along with this one, then it is already clear that she has had multiple sexual partners before. Again, remember, it's not about judging her. It's about your capacity that whether you can take it or not. If this is too much for you to handle, then it is time to say goodbye to her. One more time is never quickly jump to a conclusion if you observe some signs. It could always have another explanation. My advice is that you give your relationship some time, find out more about her, and make sure if she can be a good match for you or not. At the same time, never settle for anything less than you deserve. If you seek a long-term relationship with a deeper connection, never give a chance to the person who is just playing around. Remember, you're a high-value man.